21 of us going to Magaluf, stag-do. Went outside for a cigarette. Nobody was there at the time. Toppled off the second story balcony.
I honestly thought he had died.
Had a bleed to the brain. I broke every bone in my face. I wasn't sure whether I was going to make it the whole night. I was going abroad to Magaluf for my mate's stag-do in June. There's 21 of us going, so it should have been a good weekend.
For him to be on a proper lads' holiday with his mates.
It was all fun and games from the get-go.
Partying, drinking, pool parties.
We was just chilling by the pool all day, having a few cocktails. We was playing like drinking games, and then we went out on the Magaluf strip, which I can't remember because of what happened later on that evening. Yeah, it's quite a shame really that I can't remember the good bits. I walked back to the hotel with my mate Mike. He then put me in my room. From what I can remember is I then went outside for a cigarette.
In 7 out of 10 balcony falls in 2018, the victim was on their own when they fell. Avoid balconies if you've been drinking or taking drugs, and always try to stick with your mates.
Whilst having a cigarette, I started throwing up. While throwing up, I jaunted forward. As I jaunted forward, I toppled off the second story balcony. So I was travelling at 34 miles an hour from the point I fell to the point I hit the ground. But nobody was there at the time, so once I fell, it's luckily the people found me when they did, because God knows what would have happened if they didn't find me. Would I have died at the bottom there?
If you find someone who's fallen, call an ambulance immediately. In Europe, call 112 or 999 in the UK. One of the main risks from a balcony fall is spinal injury, so don't let them move from the position they've landed in. Steady and support their head without moving it to prevent further damage to the spinal cord. Kneel down and put your hands either side of their head, keeping their ears free.
Because of how we was told he had fell and where he had fell from was a lot for any human being to fall from.
Check their breathing. Put your ear just above their mouth, looking at their body. If they're not breathing, put your thumbs on their cheeks and your fingers under the jawbone and lift up. This helps keep their airways open. Don't tilt their neck. This could damage their spinal cord. Look, listen and feel for 10 seconds. If they're still not breathing, start mouth to mouth and CPR. Don't stop until the paramedics arrive.
When the ambulance service come, the ambulance team put me straight into an induced coma on the scene to protect my brain, so I had a bleed to the brain. They told my friends they wasn't sure whether I was going to make it the whole night. They had to bring my family to get my family out there as soon as they can.
I was talking to him probably 6 hours before to get the call to say he had fell from the balcony. I honestly thought he had died and we was just going to pick him up from the hospital.
From the head down, I had a bleed to the brain. I broke every bone in my face. Broke my right wrist, broke my right scaffold, shattered my left pelvis complete, so I've had to have that metal plated. Dislocated my left leg to about 3 mil of my spinal cord. Snapped my left kneecap clean in half.
I could see the metal in his mouth. I was wondering what it was, and I just got really emotional seeing him like that. It was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through in my life. I used to give him a kiss like off everyone, so he knew that we was all there supporting him and that he had the love of all of us.
And then I woke up, I think it's about 14 days later, from a coma. The way I dislocated my leg, it was so close to my spinal cord, it could have made me disabled for the rest of my life. Then there's worried that I'd never talk again due to all the crushness of my face. To repair it, they went in through the top of my mouth. They sliced all that open to put the plates here and here. They went through the bottom of my mouth to replate here, and the scar there. Then they went in through my right eye socket, where my eye fell out, to rebuild my right eye socket and my left eye socket. It's quite crazy to think how they got their hands and machines in there to rebuild it, but yeah. Crazy to think that one Jack went on the plane and another Jack woke up and flew back. It just took its toll on everybody, which has been quite hard.
To me, it wasn't safe at 5'11" and the balcony's just about reaching your hip. It could easily happen to anyone.
What I tend to do is look at photos and actually see how far I come. I had to stay off my feet for a further 8 weeks. Then I went to semi-weight bearing, which means you have to walk with like eggshells at the bottom of your feet, so if you put too much pressure, you got a picture, you crush the eggshell. You don't realise the little things like eating for yourself. At 23 years of age, my dad had to cut my food up. I think about October 15th, I finally got my teeth, which was a miracle. You don't realise how much you need your teeth till you've actually lost your teeth. But I think it's more mentally now what I have to deal with due to not knowing what went on. I talked to like my psychiatrist, whatever you want to call it, and what you got to remember is your brain needs time to adjust itself. It's okay to say you're not okay.
He's just been getting stronger and healthier every day. To see him walk, to see him talk, to going out with his friends. To my little boy, he's his superhero.
It's easy to point the fingers at other people to say, oh, maybe it was a bartender's fault for topping up glasses full of alcohol, or it could be one of your mates. But it takes a bigger person to say, yeah, I should have stopped drinking at a certain time, or I should have just gone to bed, or I should have had the moral courage to say, actually, I'll have a few Pepsis, lads, just to balance it out. I haven't touched a drink, I haven't smoked in a year. Tried to take the good from this situation. It's turned me into a better person, and I'm thankful for the person that I am today. Whoever did find me saved my life. I'm thankful. Thank you.